Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk about some gold. I want to talk about gold. We're not going to worry about silver. Wait a minute. Well, probably gold and silver will apply. It'll apply to both. And what it is, there's many ways of looking at gold and silver. I know most people aren't that familiar with it, and so they use their imaginations and they think value, dollars. Oh, there's lots of money there. It doesn't make any difference what country you're in. They're going to look at it as how many dollars or how much value, the money. It's money. That's what they look at gold and silver as, and that's one of the ways. And like I said, there's many ways of looking at it, but I also want to talk about two. And one is the money part. And the thing is, I've been collecting gold and silver, most of it in coins, but also I've done some jewelry. I'm not much of a jewelry guy because they jack the price up on the jewelry. I'd rather buy it by the ounce, whatever the cost is, and that's what I pay for, plus the premium when it is. So but the reason I do it like that is because if you ever have to sell it, then they're going to be selling it by weight. And so, in other words, there's not going to be that much weight in it when it's jewelry compared to the coins. So that's the main reason why I look at it in dollars and cents and stuff like that. So you can look at it as an investment. I really don't. That's not the way I look at it, even though I have used it as that. When I've needed money, I was able to convert it over pretty fast, and that's in any kind of money. Any place I've ever been in the world, I've been able to convert it to whatever kind of money I need, pretty much right there. Now, a little trick to that is you have to know the people to do it. Most of the time, you go to money exchangers, and the money exchangers will tell you where you need to go. And it's the same thing in the United States. They've got money exchangers, but most of the time they're like in airports and stuff like that. But in the United States, we also have pawn shops. Pawn shops will do it. But like I say, they're only going to give you 80% or something like that of whatever the weight value is. So that's why I'm not real big on looking at gold and silver as an investment. All investments, it's always you buy it low, the price is low, and you sell it high. That's the way investments are. Now, the thing is, seeing that I'm not buying it as investments, I sell it when I need it. So whenever the price is up or down, it doesn't make any difference when I go to sell it. Seldom do I sell it. Now, another way to look at gold and silver is worth. And when I say worth, I'm talking about it not only, well, the first thing, gold has worth. I mean, anybody, they can say anything they want to. I guarantee you can go anywhere in the world and it's worth something. always. It's always worth. So, and that's mainly what I got it for, is worth. So now you're thinking, well, the worth of the gold and silver. Yes. The thing is, when, okay, you look at a millionaire. The millionaire, I mean, a true millionaire. I'm not talking about somebody's in debt. You know, I mean, somebody where the market crashes or stuff like that, and then they lose everything. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the true guy with lots and lots of worth. That's it. Not value, worth, because value changes. And like I say, you can have a market drop. We already had a real estate drop. All those change someone's I want to say worth, because they're using it as worth. They have a profit and loss statement. We use a lot of that in the oil business. And what it is you list your assets and you list your liabilities, what you own and what you owe. And the difference tells you your worth. The problem with that was just like in the oil business, your stuff is worth a lot, yes, but when the market changes, your assets change. Normally, the assets will drop. There are some that will gain, but most of the time, an asset by itself will drop in price. The market really makes it go down. And the reason is you fudge your assets. So it's just kind of like, how much is your house worth? Okay, you'll say, oh, $100,000. Okay, good, it's worth $100,000. Can you give me $100,000 tomorrow? If your house is worth $100,000, can you get it tomorrow? No. The chances are it may be worth $100,000, but trying to find the person that has $100,000 to give you is going to take time. So your house will have that worth, and you will have it on your profit and loss like it's worth $100,000. But the reality is, right now, it's not. It could be, but it's not really. And if the market drops, now if we wait a few years, now the value of your house could go up. Yes, I agree. It could take probably a few years before it'll go up, probably. And that's considering you spend the money for the maintenance and upkeep, the insurance, you pay the taxes, and you do all that kind of stuff, then in a few years it will come up. But the thing is, without you doing anything, without you spending any money, without you doing none of that stuff, you're definitely not going to get your $100,000 if you manage to keep hanging on to the house. Now, if the market was to fall, then you're going to be not only continually spending, but you're not going to be able to get that full $100,000. And so the worth is flexible. And you say, yes, it's flexible, it goes up and down on gold and silver. Yes, you're absolutely right. But we're right back to the same thing. It'll always have worth. And when your house goes into foreclosure, or it gets what do you call it, mold or mildew, or there's a whole number of things that could happen to your house, in which could change the worth of the house, and you're going to have to spend a lot of money to at least keep it from being condemned on some bad things happening. In which gold and silver, it just sits there and it'll hold its worth, whatever the worth will be. It doesn't make any difference. Now, that's, like I say, when you want to put it in money type worth. But I've made I used to make loans with gold. I would put it in a safe deposit box where the bank keeps the key, and the gold stays in the safe deposit box in the bank, and use it for collateral to make loans. So that's what gave me the idea of, eventually I figured out that the house wasn't going to work for me. I didn't need the house. I could rent, so, and then I say I wasn't stuck in one place. So the house wasn't a good option for me, and especially because I went wherever opportunity was. I say I'm in business. I like making money, and you don't always make money in the same neighborhood, so I have to move to a different neighborhood. And so I would, I started burying my gold and silver in my friend's house. Well, a lot of my friends, I'm a country boy. I don't do much in town. The town's got way too many limitations. So most all my friends are in the country. So I would bury my gold and silver on their land, let them know where it is that it's buried. And this way, if I was to die, they would know where it is. If I was to live and need money, I have two options. Either they can loan me the money, and the gold is already in their safe deposit box. It's buried on their property, and they know where it is. Or they can dig it up and liquidate it and give me the money. It doesn't make any difference either way. Most of the time, the people that I'm putting the money, I'm burying my gold and silver on, like I say, they're country folk, and they understand worth. Why do they understand worth? They have livestock. They have property. They have a house. They understand how worth works, and they know gold and silver has worth. So that's how I'm able to continually getting worth out of my gold and silver. And then, like I say, also when it comes to worth, it's just like, if you remember, I say remember because I think you grow out of this stuff, I think. But when you were younger, you didn't have money. When you got a paycheck, you cashed your check, you got a pocket full of money, and then your chest puckers up, you stand up straight, and you carry yourself better. And that's the reason why I say you grow out of it, or this is what I remember, is because as the gold and silver accumulates more and more and more, and I got it in one spot, I got it in another spot, I got it in another spot, as all this happens, well, money isn't an issue anymore. And when money is not an issue, now we're right back to, I talk about how I function, and I don't use money as a controlling point like many people do, because they look at life as money. I don't. Money means little to me. Why? Because I have worth, and that's the number one reason why I look at gold and silver as worth, because I can pucker up all the time. I know I've got the funds to buy anything I want, because it's not the things that count. And you learn that, I think you learn that, as you accumulate gold and silver, because it'll have worth no matter what. And one of the things I spent money on is, or sold my gold, was the Hoi Chi. I've had to learn Hoi Chi. I stopped working when I was like 52 years old, something like that. So, and so no income coming in, and I'm learning a new trade, and I couldn't charge for something I didn't really know. So it took me a few years of practicing, learning, and all this stuff until I was capable of making an income off of my abilities, my skills and my abilities. That's why I talk about skills and abilities has worth. That's why. Okay, my skills and abilities are just as valuable, if not more so, than the gold and silver. The gold and silver is more of the ace in the hole. Literally, it is in a hole. So it took me a few years, and during that period of time, I liquidated gold and silver as I needed it to pay expenses. And otherwise, if I didn't do that, I'd have even a whole lot more. But like I say, that's what I have it for. I've got gold and silver because it gives me worth. I can start a new career. I can start a new life any place in the world just by hanging on to the gold and silver, the accumulation of gold and silver. So it does have worth. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you the two big things that that most people think of in the way of gold and silver, and that's one, as an investment, buy low, sell high, and the other, number two, is hanging on to it for worth, not worth of the gold and silver, but for your worth. Your worth continues to improve and gain. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.